Oh, good morning.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, buongiorno. Com'è? Good morning o no? O guten Tag? No, guten Tag is in Dutch.
You are improving.
Sì. No, because now I have two kids that speak a bit Dutch, so sometimes I have this word like, around. So I will use your last slide. I was not able to change to delete programming something for Michele because I don't have the master of the agenda, but it's fine. I will show all the slides. You can invite the others to join then the parallel session. It's fine for me, no problem. And you tell me next slides, Maria Laura, show the slide or if you have, I don't know. So I'm at your disposal. I will just do the introduction and just it. Good morning, Nikos.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nikos.
Hello, hello, Ludwig. How are you?
Mira. So.
Okay. Good morning. So, let's see. So let's try to share the screen and what you see, or what I see. So I would like to share the this. Do you hear a noise? Because I'm closing up, but
Is it from me?
no. It's from my door, out of my door. There are the kids, so I don't want that. Okay. Martin.
Good morning.
Good morning, Martin. Martin, can we do a test? When we will receive the next attendee and appear in the lobby, can you, now, for example, can you try to admit Claire?
Yeah, I can admit, no problem.
Okay, perfect. So at least I don't need to change the screen.
No, exactly. We'll do that for you.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
now you see the screen, right? Is the welcome
Exactly.
slide. Okay, perfect. I wanted, yeah. Let's see if that is big. Okay.
Good morning, Elisabetta.
Okay, the audio access code, should I send you an email or should I tell you now?
Can someone tell me if my voice is okay? Does the microphone work? Fine?
Yes, it works. Yes.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I still cannot change my background when I get into your sessions. I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm not technical enough to help on this. So.
I do this all day long and I change the background to whatever project, but it's not possible to change it here. I don't know why.
It's like all Teams works and except our Teams it doesn't work for some people. So.
Yeah, obviously it works. I mean, you can change it.
Yes, I changed it because I have in my, I don't know, you downloaded it. Maybe this is the.
Maybe it's somehow like only people in Zabala can change it. Has ever someone else managed to change the background?
Usually you can ask me, Ludwig.
Did you manage to?
And I will. Usually say yes. Yes, I did actually. Even in the Zabala around world, yeah, you must go to the internet, search around, and then you find somewhere a location on your disk, which is right now an empty directory where you can put your GIF files or JPEG files, and then you get them in the choice of backgrounds. But
Okay.
it's really very low level. You have to go down to the file. Yeah, and
This
I
is
gave
what
up.
my ICT person told me. There is such a way, but he said, don't do that.
Yeah. No, it's really not a clean process actually from a systems management point of view. So I also gave up on that. Well, not really gave up, but I don't use it anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
but it's getting better. It's improving. Now I can blur my background. That's a big step forward.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But it looks you must really have good hair, you know, a good frisure, huh? Because you get a shine around you, you know. So.
Yeah, but mine is fine now, right?
Yeah. Yours looks good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, the background is blurred. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I show you my background, you could start reading my books about blackouts and everything.
That's good.
Good morning, this is Santiago. Just checking if my camera and mic are working on.
Everything is working.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you, Mary, a stupid question? Did we get this file with all the links already, which we see on the screen right now?
Yesterday.
When was that coming? Yesterday? When was that?
Yesterday around 3 or 4, between 3 and 4. And in any case, you have the Outlook invitation as well for the session.
Yeah, that's what I got. Exactly. That's what I noticed, but I didn't. Anyway, yeah, okay. Oh, here I have the access card. Now I see it. Sorry, reset. Yeah.
Oh, no, don't worry.
but I saw your Microsoft.
I want to decide if how I showed.
Only clarification questions and put them please in the chat, and then I will either read or ask you to voice your question, and then the speaker will be able to answer the question. Okay, so let me now make sure that I.
Who's he speaking? Oh yeah.
Correctly. So.
Okay, fine. Ciao Esther.
Hi.
Hi,
Yeah.
Esther.
Hi. Good day.
I hope that this transition between. So Ludwig, when I have to pass from the Slido to, well, no, it's not you. I have to speak because then from my introductory presentation there is the Slido, and then there is Inigo. But I need to come back to the slide show mode. Okay, fine. Maybe there will be some seconds of. Okay, we are.
Esther,
Yes, hi.
for equal rights, I still cannot change my background.
Oh, so you want me to get my background away as well?
I cannot take out my background because otherwise you see the kitchen. So I will keep as it is.
No, you can. Esther, I don't know. I mean, you can keep it, of course, but I cannot. It doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes it is like that. It depends on the Teams access. I don't know, or the browser. I had it before as well. What a pity.
Okay. But you are the more pretty one anyway. You can keep your background.
Yeah, or it looks like this if I take it out. Yeah.
Hello, good morning. Franco here speaking.
Franco.
Martin, don't add everyone. I think we are adding also guest.
No, it's just everyone is now adding guests. So, but yeah, can everyone just not add anyone until 9:30?
Okay, fine. I thought it was you, sorry. My bad.
Ludwig, is this better? Is it better? Without background.
Now I don't see nothing.
You don't see me? Oh.
No, we don't see you.
Okay, good that you ask.
Yeah. Can you keep that one? That's nice.
Okay. This morning you sent me an update, Ludwig.
Yeah.
Did the question change?
No, nothing, only the timing.
All right.
I realized that at some point of time we decided that we give a bit more time to the sessions.
Okay. I only have to change the time. Good.
So that is true. Is everybody aware that we run the parallel sessions until 10:12 now?
10:12. Yes, this is the agenda.
I had not realized that.
Yeah, don't. I think we are finished earlier. You know, we just synchronize again at, I don't know, at for the last session. I think
it's 20 minutes more than we scheduled. Yeah.
I think it's because last time we didn't have enough. Was enough to have less time in the conclusions.
Maria, I have many people on my screen. If I
no, leave them like that at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
And normally we are adding speakers. Ciao Michele, buongiorno.
So if we are waiting, then I want to say hello to Nikos and to Elena. To all the people I didn't see for a long time.
Hello,
Hi.
hello, Esther.
And Reiner.
I hope we meet sometime.
Yes, yes.
Hello, everybody.
Are you all going to Enlit, no?
Sorry?
The majority of you are going to Milan in Enlit, no?
No, I cannot.
Ah, you can't. Oh,
No.
me neither, but
Yeah.
For me, depends on meeting, Maria Laura. Will it be live or will it be, electronic?
there are too few people for the implementation plan one. I'm still waiting a bit, but I don't think people will. If you wait for this, I will say no. But if you want, in general, to be there, would be nice for you. But we discuss next Monday about this. Okay, I add the Inigo. Good morning, Inigo. So we are me introduction, then there is Inigo, then there is Ludwig. Let's go to the part of the agenda of introductory. Michele is here. Then we should have Paddy, Phelan, and Yatta Yusila to Aris to start. Ciao, Inigo.
Hello, how are you?
So let's hope fine, thanks. I will, let's see if I find in my list. No. Let's see. I would like to find them in the list, so I invite them to join. Normally I do like that, so I force people to join at some point. Yeah. I don't find in the list. I don't know if you, Elisabetta, can send an email to them. Say. Aris here. I request to join. I found him. Yatta. Okay, Yatta, I'm adding. And then we miss Paddy, Phelan. I don't see the one that want to join, so let's see if I find it.
Yatta is here.
Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Yatta.
Good morning. Nice to meet you. So.
Nice to meet you too.
In case, it's at 10, the round where Yatta participates, so it's fine. Okay, let's wait 2 minutes, then I will admit all, and we start. Inigo, I will go through this. You will tell me next slides, and I will click on that.
Okay, thank you.
After I finish the first slide, I have to come back to the slides. This could take some minutes, some seconds. But I will introduce you, Inigo, so you can already introduce yourself while the slides are coming, okay? So we don't... Okay, there is a problem with the chat, apparently. So I will put, I don't know, I will put the slide code. Here, just in case. So Elisabetta, I did it. I don't know how to.
I'm starting the broadcast. Now it seems to be back on, but sometimes it seems to go. So just in case.
Yeah. Let's just cross finger. Otherwise, you tell me, and I will try to cover. But everyone has the link. So the link for the parallel session doesn't bother me. The slide I just put it, so it's fine. Okay, it's 30. I'm going to admit everyone now. So we start. Let's go.
Everybody switch off, please.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. We are finishing to admit some people that just joined. So my name is Maria Laura Trefiletti and I'm the ETIP SNET coordinator. And I would like really to thanks for your time and your interest in our 13 ETIP SNET regional workshop, where we are going to touch some hot topic toward energy transition. So as Inigo Atzviri, our vice chair of ETIP SNET will show you later, we are really working and putting together stakeholders from industry, from research centers, university toward energy transition to reach together the target also set up by the European Commission, and also to identify common R&I priorities. And we will explain you how, with which outcomes later on. So now for this introductory session, I would like to remind you that you received yesterday an access card via email, but you also received, since you are here, fortunately, successfully, also the invitation on Outlook. And you will find all the links that normally my colleagues kindly will put also in the chat, hoping that the chat works properly this time. In terms of agenda, so we will go through, as I told you, a presentation of ETIP SNET and Bridge for the one that don't know, done by our vice chair. Please mute yourself, otherwise we will hear some background noise. And then we will go to a first roundtable. During this first roundtable, we will focus on regional and national level. This is an angle that we need to look more and more into, because sometimes we risk to go on silo only at European level, but this is really important to link our activities and our identification on our priority at national and regional level. So this will be, again, an interesting discussion for tackling this angle. Then we will split all of you in parallel sessions according to your preference that you expressed when you registered, and for which I sent you the separate Outlook invitation with a separate link. We will go through 4 of them. They will run at the same times from 10:40 to 12:10. We will have one about decarbonizing EU island, then one on operation, sorry, because I have operation of integrated energy systems with IRSA penetration. Sorry, because team pop up people that need to be admitted in front of my screen, so I have some difficulties to read. Then we will have the other parallel session will be about digitalization with focus on monitoring and control semantic interoperability. And 4th parallel session, consumers and data, to discuss the relation of products, privacy and policy. Then we will come back all together to see also what are the outcomes of the other parallel session when, of course, we were not able to attend. But also we will have an interesting presentation about a questionnaire that has been circulated to the project from Bridge and No Bridge, so from Horizon 2020 project, that will be presented during the parallel session. And this will be mapped according to the innovation, to the TRL, to the outcomes and results. And then we will conclude our workshop. To make it more interactive as possible, since we are still in this more hybrid now, fortunately, but still in this situation, we create some Slido question. And here you can find already the link that has already been posted again by my colleague Elisabetta Frisaldi in the chat. So please go to the chat and already connect to the Slido. This is the code event. And you need to select the session on the app on the right. And please, for this one that is coming, please select the introductory session. So once this is done, the general rules is please switch off your microphone and camera. Normally only the panelists can have camera and microphone to avoid confusion and distract. Whenever you have any question, or you can put in the chat on Teams. If it doesn't work, please raise your hand and we will leave you the floor. Please be aware that all the workshop, this session, parallel session and conclusion session will be recorded. So if you don't accept this, unfortunately you have to leave, but I hope that there is no problem. It's for the benefit of everyone, and it will be shared on our website on ETIP SNET. As I told you, the access link are already posted, already sent, and all of you should have by now. Then, for starting this session, the most interactive way, as I said, please go to the chat, go to the link that is there, and we will start our first slide. This is really basic. It's just to know if you know us. Sorry, this is my email. Okay. And see if you already joined some workshop or who you are. So first question, I give you some seconds to access, and I'm happy to see that 91% knows ETIP SNET. So means that so all of you have been in contact with some of us, people that fly around ETIP SNET. So this is a good result. But we are here also for this 7% that doesn't know us, and even less. So we hope that also the 6% find our activities interesting. And I always want to remind all people that you can join ETIP SNET as expert, joining our working groups. If you have any question, then you can contact me. Then second question, but you know us. So normally this should be, again, 94%. What is our acronym stand for? Okay, some of you know us more as just ETIP SNET, but what we stand for is Smart Networks for Energy Transition. We are one of the ETIPs, the 10 ETIPs that the European Commission created under the SET plan, but it will be clear in Inigo presentation. And we are not only for smart grids. This is interesting, these results. So we have, one of our focus is integration of energy sectors. So smart grids, storage, but in integration with other energy vectors. Have you already participated in previous regional workshops? Very interesting results. Good for us, means that we are reaching new people. So thanks for the one that continue to join us, but thanks to all the new one that seems to be interested in our activities. And this is already a good starting point for us in terms of organization. In which country you are located? So we know, as I told you, this focus of regional and national level, how we can tackle also with your support. I see here Italy, as you can imagine, I'm Italian, so it show up as first here. But I'm happy to see that we have a good coverage of all European Union countries. And also, no, I see someone from UK. So our bracket 28 country. Perfect. So I think that we have a good coverage, and my message for all of you is also looking into your regional national level and try to give also your contribution on this side. That for us, as I said, is really important, really key. From which sector you are from? Okay. At the moment, we have a majority of research institutes. I scroll down, there are also other sectors. Okay. Okay, so this will help us also to understand what is the background that people that identified R&I priorities together with us come from. And we will keep, of course, these results for our knowledge and for our evaluation in the reply and feedback that we are going to obtain. So now this, I want to thank you for having participated, 44 of you, so it's already a good number. So now I would come back to the presentation. I would like to introduce you Inigo Atspiri from Iberdrola, but is ETIP SNET Vice Chair. And I will ask him to introduce himself and present ETIP SNET and bridge activities connected each other. And Inigo, please, while I put the slides, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Maria Laura. It's very good to see that most of you already know ETIP SNET, but I will do this presentation just not for those of you that do not know us, but also for those of you that are working with us, so that you know the latest status on the work we are doing. Okay, so as we said before, ETIP SNET stands for the European Technology and Innovation Platform for Smart Networks for the Energy Transition. It was established in 2016 with the support of the European Commission. Sorry, Maria, I need to admit these people because they are blocking the video. Okay. So, as I said, it was established in 2016, building on previous activities which were focused on the grids. But from this year on, we were expanding the scope to the entire energy system. So we integrating and optimizing all sources of vectors. So that's why we say that we go beyond the electricity grid. So, sorry, Maria Laura, can you go to the previous one for the objectives?
Yes, I'm clicking maybe a bit slow, but it's already on the other slide. Do you see it?
Okay, no, I don't see it. Well, anyway, so our objective is to guide the European research and innovation toward an energy system where all sources and vectors are integrated. So you know that there are many challenges in innovation to integrate the renewables in the different sectors in the coming years, and at the same time making sure that we have reliable, sustainable, and affordable energy.
Do you see the correct slide, Inigo, now? From ideas to fact?
Yes, thank you, Maria.
Yeah. So now we go to the next one. Should come soon.
Yeah. So ETIP SNET is composed by a very rich community of more than 350 experts from the different stakeholder groups that you are seeing on the screen. We are organized in 5 working groups, which I will go into more detail in the coming slides. Next slide, please. So one of the interesting work that we do is that we published our vision for the 2050. So in this vision, we try to provide stakeholders' views on the system, how the electric system will look like in 2050, and top-level requirements for the innovation on these areas. So with this vision, then we later develop the roadmaps and coming to the shorter term, the implementation plans. So as a brief summary of 2050, the vision of 2050, we see the electricity grid as a backbone for the future low-carbon energy system, a fully digitalized grid, and this digitalization, we think that will allow stakeholders, including prosumers, to trade energy. Okay, next slide, please. So with this vision for 2050 in mind, we come to the shorter term we develop our roadmap for 10 years. So this is a consolidated view from our stakeholders for the future research and innovation needs, and relays on a detailed analysis of the national, European, and international projects, as well as, of course, workshops like this one that we are having right now, and where the input is really important for us. So we identify 6 research areas that you see on the screen. And yes, we'd like to also tell you that an update is coming, is scheduled for December of next year. Next slide, please.
This year the update.
Yeah, this year. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So, to the shortest term, the implementation plan for a timeline of 5 years. This is where we identify the priority actions in different topics that we identified, which are relevant for the research and innovation. And 2 implementation plans are scheduled. In December this year, we publish one covering the period from 2022 to 2025. And also in August next year, we will publish another implementation plan. So now, going to the different working groups that I told you before, I will try to tell you a brief introduction of what they do and what the work that they are working on right now. So the first working group focuses on how we can achieve a reliable, economic, and efficient energy system. So, for example, on April this year, this group released a position paper on smart sector integration, which is also available on our website. And in the coming months, they are going to release white papers on hydrogen and grids, flexibility for resilience, and e-mobility. Next slide, please. So working group number 2, this group investigates the energy storage technologies that ensure system flexibility. And this group has a strong collaboration with other ETIPs, especially ETIP batteries, which focus only on the battery side, but in working group 2 on ETIP SNET, we also take into account other storage technologies. So right now they are working on a white paper on defining approach for circular economy in the energy storage field, which will be a very relevant matter in the future. Next slide, please. Yeah. Working group 3 deals with the flexible generation from thermal-based generators. Also, this working group has a strong collaboration with another TIP, in this case, TIP RHC, which stands for Renewable Heating and Cooling. And in fact, they are right now working on a joint white paper for the next year that you can see on the blue box on chapters on energy resources and technologies and the challenges in this aspect. Next slide, please. Working group 4 deals with an important matter, which is the digitalization of the electric system and also the customer participation. So this group developed use cases focused mainly on the residential customers with the idea of interconnecting the ecosystem related to the electricity sector and to provide an easy access for provision of services in a plug-and-play approach. So this is what we call the one-stop shop. The work that we are working on right now is the next steps are the digitalization action plan consultation reply. Sorry. Follow up with our big idea and collaboration with other working groups also to focus on customers and the involvement of citizens. Next slide. The final working group number 5. This group works closely with the rest of the groups to study the results of the European projects so that the work done in these projects and the lessons learned in them can be used to identify the research and innovation needs in the coming years. So you see that we have 5 different working teams here that you see on the screen. And also, this working group has a collaboration, a strong collaboration with the Bridge initiative that in the next slide we can see, please, Maria Laura. So this Bridge initiative, for those of you that are not familiar with it, the objective of Bridge is to link all the different European projects in order to have a structured view of cross-cutting issues. So the topics that are covered in Bridge are smart grids, storage, islands, and digitalization. So it's very important for us to collaborate with this kind of initiatives. So all the knowledge is considered for the coming years and to define the innovation needs for electricity grids. So with that, I finish my presentation. I hope that you have a nice workshop, and I'm sure that the outcomes will be really important and interesting for us. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Inigo. I would like to ask the audience if they have any question about ETIP SNET in general. So this 44% that didn't attend before to the presentation, and all the 6% that doesn't know us, please raise your hand and we'll leave you the floor. Otherwise, Inigo show you all the activities that ETIP SNET is planning to do. I want to, correct the roadmap will be issued correctly in 2022. Now we are going in December 2021 to have the implementation plan. So sorry for my wrong correction before, but just to make sure that everything is clear for you. And as I was saying, you can attend, you can participate to all the next activities that you see in the working groups, joining us as experts, voluntary basis, so no member fee. ETIP SNET has no member fee. All of you are welcome for bringing your view. So said that, at the moment, I don't see any question. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see any raised hand. So I thanks again, Inigo. And I open the next session that is concerning this focus on regional and national level. I leave the floor to Ludwig Karg that will moderate it. So please, the floor is yours. And I'm here to support you for the slides.
Thank you, Maria Laura, for inviting me again. I mean, I had the joy to do 2 such regional workshops with you and all these people that I like a lot and would have more liked to meet in reality, but still not possible. I hope that the next regional workshop will help us. Yeah, we have very valued and recognized experts with us, people that are very familiar with what we typically call energy transition, and with all these networks on EU level, on national level, on regional level. And these people are now very much committed to share their knowledge with you. And some of them have brought some pictures. You will help me with the pictures, Maria Laura. And the first person to call is Rainer Bacher. You can show your face, please. I know you are there. Hi, Rainer.
Hello.
Rainer, we are talking a lot about ETIP SNET. SNET obviously stands for Smart Networks for Energy Transition. And remember, we had a long discussion if we are talking about digital networks or energy networks or personal networks. Anyway, you are one of the architects of these workshops here. And there are so many networks out there, and we are not talking about technical networks now. Let's talk a bit about the networks where people cooperate. So we had heard what ETIP is, what Bridge is, but maybe you dive in a bit more even and explain to us who works with whom on what.
Thank you very much, Ludwig. Yes, we are in a very still in a very complex world. I think we and to make a progress on the energy transition, we need to understand, you know, who should contribute on what level. Is it on national, on European level? Is it on industrial level? Is it at the university, and so on? And I think for that, and it was really a very good move, I think, from Europe. You know, this SET plan, you know, which was created a few years ago. And I just want to explain you very briefly how ETIP SNET is positioned here and what we are doing. And this is also for the 44%, you know, of people who may not know ETIP SNET. So some years ago, as the so-called SET plan, Strategic Energy Technologies Plan, was created. They set up 10 so-called key actions. You see them in the middle of the screen. You know, they go from renewables to energy systems to transport, and all the different you know, elements of an energy system. And on the right hand side, you see a body which is really important, and we will also hear, I think, from somebody of that body, the so-called implementation working groups. You must understand, and this is really a message to you know, to those who don't know this organization so well. Also countries in Europe, you know, the member states and UK and Switzerland and the other countries try to contribute to this bigger transition. And for that, the European Commission created these implementation working groups, which is composed by people strongly from the national parts. Next slide, please. And I will just show you now a few snapshots. On the left side, you see that ETIP SNET, which is shown on the left-hand side in the middle, is one of 10 so-called industrial, well, it's not industrial, actually, it's stakeholder platforms, which brings together countries, industry, researchers, and those who implement things, you know, all the parties. For example, ETIP SNET has more than 300 parties involved at the different levels. So we try to contribute from the stakeholder point of view, not the governmental point of view so much, but much more from the stakeholder point of view. Next slide. And in order, you know, and just to see where is ETIP SNET, the one you have in front of you, we are representing ETIP SNET here in this regional workshop. What are we doing? We are concentrating on one of these focus themes of the 10 actions, and ours is, well, we look into many, but the key focus we are looking at is resilience and security of the energy system. So the keyword is really the system. The keyword is bringing energy parts together, energy system parts together, and making it robust, you know, affordable, secure, and of course sustainable. So those are the key things which ETIP SNET is doing in terms of high level topic. Next slide, and then I'm almost finished. And in order to say what ETIP SNET wants, and you heard the keywords already before from Inigo, we create, well, we call them key documents. Key documents which describes what our 350 stakeholders want to, you know, what they think we need to do in order to make the progress in this energy system resilience and security. And for that, you see them on the left side. We have created 3 documents. You can download them. The vision, a nice document, looks to 2050. In the middle, we have this 10-year ahead document, which we call roadmap. And we have the 4-year forward-looking view, which we call ETIP SNET implementation. So, and there you find on different levels what needs to be done from the ETIP SNET stakeholders point of view. And on the right-hand side, and this is, of course, totally important and complementary, this is the view from the implementation working groups, where I already said this is also the view from the countries and nations in Europe. So this is the so-called Strategic Energy Technology Plan Action 4, which is also called Increase the Resilience and Security of the Energy System. So we both parties write about the implementation plan. No, you can go on. And in the end, we need to have a complementary view. What needs to be done to really make this change in this energy system? And this picture was already shown before. It is about the bridge connection of ETIP SNET.
Rainer, what is more difficult, building the electrical network or building these European networks to manage everything?
Well, I think I know the answer you want to hear. For our researchers, totally clear. There are many technical issues, technological issues, which need to work together. But to bring all these bodies together, all these stakeholders, which have a say, which we need to take serious in changing the system. This is the key challenge, I think.
And you stressed it again, it's important that academia works with industry and everybody. So building this big stakeholder network is important. Maybe one last question, because people keep asking that. You talked about this new implementation plan that's due. Is it by end of the year or so?
Yes,
it will run until 24. What exactly is the purpose of the plan, or more or less the question, who will be in charge to implement this implementation plan?
Yes, it's. I also was wondering, what do these keywords mean? It's really even, well, how to explain that? It is what we do here should be understood by all those stakeholders who in the end fund and do the transition, Okay. So we need to write the message so that the governments, the European Commission, but also the small stakeholders, the DSOs, the big ones, the TSOs, the communities understand what needs to be done together. And so they can make proposals in the end for projects which help us to understand how really we should do these many issues. That is the key issue.
But at the end, it boils down to an implementation plan that cannot be implemented by industry only. It has also to be implemented by academic research and everybody all together.
Yeah, even more. It's communities, it's cities. It is electric vehicle manufacturers. It is, and we need to organize these many contributors here. That is the key challenge, and that's what we try by writing our 4-year implementation plan.
Thank you, Rainer, for this quick and sharp introduction.
Ludwig, there was a question from Eduardo. He raised the hand and then he put down his hand. But Eduardo, if you have a question, I don't know if it was related to this or to the previous session, please go ahead, take the floor. No?
He's shy.
Oh, sorry about that. It was a mistake. Sorry.
Okay, okay, fine. Good. Let's continue, Ludwig.
Let's continue. I'm happy to announce 2 persons from Greece. This is Aristimias, but first Nikos Hasiogyriou. Nikos, show your face. If someone really represents in one person all these industrial, academic, and whatsoever stakeholder networks, that's you. You have been serving in energy systems as CEOs and whatever you did, and then you are a professor in academic ranks, and you know ETIP because you have been working for the ETIP as a chairman, one of the working groups, so you know all that. From your mouth, Nikos, why the heck is ETIP so important?
Thank you very much, Ludwig, and hello everybody. I'm very glad to be here. And I hope, Ludwig, I'm one of the persons that you would like to meet in person next time and very soon.
Sure.
So,
and Greece is a good candidate. Greece is a good candidate. I like that.
Indeed. So what I would like to say is that really the big strength of ETIP SNET is that it coordinates the views of a very large number of stakeholders. The stakeholders of ETIP SNET cover all actors of the energy sector, starting from operators, transmission distribution system operators, renewable energy producers, thermal generation producers, storage, manufacturers and operators, academia, research and academia. We have the stakeholders, national stakeholders group. So consumers in many aspects, also vendors, very important. Also ICT, vendors and operators. So there is everybody there, and it's a unique chance to sit together, try to organize our views about the future energy system, integrated energy system, and prioritize what we think are the research needs in order to realize the vision of the decarbonized energy systems. So it's very important that we interact and we provide consolidated views to the European Commission and the stakeholders of which research projects they should fund, our opinion, of course.
So horizontally, it's important, and you stress that again. So academic institutions, institutes in industry, etc. But let's talk a bit about this, say, vertical integration. I mean, we have these levels, European level, national level, regional level, city level, and so on. We call these workshops regional workshops. Obviously, people come from all regions in Europe. We have seen that. Why do you believe that it's still wise to call this something like regional?
Because, of course, we come from regions, but the European policies and the European views and dreams are universal for Europe. And it is very important that we see how regions and how countries try to implement these visions from their point of view, learn from each other, and also try to have a coordinated research plan. So we avoid duplications, we avoid wasting efforts, and also learning from each other. That's very important to learn from what has gone well with the national regional project, what has gone wrong, what we can make better next time.
Today we will dig a bit more into this question. How important is it to tackle it on regional level? We have invited some people that have really experience on this regional level. So wait a minute, they will come. But first, let me ask a question to Aris. Aris, are you here as well? I don't see your face.
Yes, I'm here.
You are here. Aris, in our group, you are responsible to some degree to somehow collect everything for this implementation plan and later the roadmap. How do you believe does such a workshop help you in your work? What would you expect from getting out from such workshops as we are doing them now for your implementation plan?
Yes, as mentioned before, this implementation plan will define the goals for research and projects for the next 4 years. So it's important to collect new ideas and also learn what is covered for the time being from ongoing projects in order to improve the implementation plan and map all these activities in the new version that will be published by the end of the year.
How effective was it in the past? We had 2 of these regional workshops this year. How effective was it? Did you get a lot?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of ideas and especially from non-bridge projects that are not, we're not familiar with them, and learned about additional research efforts.
I think that's important to understand that despite of the fact that we keep talking about bridge connected to ETIP SNET or ETIPS as such, we also look at national projects, and that's a reason why we invited nationally funded or transnationally funded projects to our parallel sessions as well. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Thanks, Aris.
Welcome.
We have to run. Nikos, you said we should come to Greece. You as a Greek or Mediterranean person, would you agree that Ireland would also be a great place to meet?
Of course, all parts of Europe would be great places to meet, and I would really like to go to Ireland next time. I think it's a great
The question is Ritsina or whiskey? Thanks, Nikos. This was a try to lead over to the next round of presentations. I call for Paddy Palin from Ireland. Paddy, please show. Oh, Ireland is gone.
Yeah, I don't see him connected, so maybe we can pass to the next one and see to try to reach.
Yeah, try to reach out to him. I saw him, but obviously now he is gone.
Yes.
Then I hope that Jata is here already.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Jata. I can always rely on Finland.
Of course, we are a reliable nation.
And also technical-wise, digitalization-wise, you have excellent digital networks, I understand, right?
Yes, we do. Yes. Both for the ICT sector and the energy sector too.
Yeah. Jata, we invited you. Maybe you give a quick personal introduction. You are the CEO of Click. What is Click and what is your role in Finland?
Yes, I can, of course, introduce Click first. Yes, I am, as said, CEO of Click Innovation, which is a cross-sectoral open innovation cluster or ecosystem for sustainable development. We are active in 3 fields: the energy system development, development of circular economy, and also development of bioeconomy. And we're based in Finland and born in Finland, but we operate internationally, meaning that we are also part of the support team for the ERANET smart energy systems. That is the reason why I'm here today then, yes.
Last time I reached you in India even.
Yes, yeah, true.
I mean, when I call you on stage and we are discussing a lot together, I always expect you to explain in 5 sentences why innovation is so important on not only international, but also on national and subnational, let's call it regional level. What is it that makes innovation so important and that makes it important on sub-global level?
Well, in my view and in Click Innovation's view, it is very important, of course, to be active in innovation activities in, well, all scales, but in local and regional and national scales, because these networks, for instance, the kind of networks that Click Innovation is, we are connected to the operating environment here in northern part of Europe, and therefore the local regional players have a good understanding of the local needs. Local infrastructures and barriers to market, for instance, and therefore these kinds of players have a good chance to create innovations and solutions that meet the local demands. But having said that, it's of course important also that these players get connected with partners outside of their own countries or regions, because it is not wise to try to invent the wheel again, using the resources to do the same things in different places many times, but it would be better to learn from each other and try to see how to replicate the already created solutions in some region, how to replicate them in other circumstances and operating environments. It would be much efficient, in my view, at least.
So what you say, innovation is, how shall I call it, a two-sided coin. On the one hand side, innovation needs to look at the needs. And then, did you call them need owners? Sometimes we call them need owners in the ERANETs.
Yes.
And the other side is the developers. So, but definitely the need owners are, in some cases at least, very local, very regional.
Yes, and like the infrastructures are also can vary a lot, and even the regulatory environment can vary a bit. Of course, in EU we are going towards the direction where the regulatories are the same, but of course then European companies, for instance, should create solutions that can be sold also outside Europe, and therefore we should also understand the conditions in the export market regions. So both sides of the coins need to be there, as you said.
Yeah, you are, as you said, also a member of the support team to the ERANET smart energy systems. We didn't ask people if they know what that is. Maybe you explain a bit what ERANET smart energy systems is and what you can do all together about the innovation with this ERANET club.
Yes. So ERANET Smart Energy System is a joint programming initiative that promotes energy system innovations, and it connects national and regional public funding programs for research, development and demonstration activities for energy. And we do, of course, the program, it finances collaborative projects, but we do also other things that sort of.
Can you give us an
Yeah.
example? You said you bring a nice picture to explain an example. Can we switch to this next picture? Do you have it?
Yes, you can take that next picture now. So then just the summary of the other things that we do within ERANET Smart Energy Systems is that first of all, we have built what we call the knowledge community for knowledge sharing. And that is there to accelerate solution creation and also to then, as said, try to replicate solutions that already somebody has developed them in other environments. But another part of what we do is that we have created what we call an impact network inside the program or initiative. And part of that impact network is what we call a validation network with living labs and test beds. And this is an example picture now describing what this validation network is doing. So basically, the idea behind this network is to connect the projects that are funded by the ERANET Smart Energy System with players, regional and local players, such as living labs and test beds, which are connected to the real life, contexts, meaning customers, for instance, in different areas, or then the technological infrastructure in certain areas. And the idea is to, when we help the projects find this type of partners for validation, so they could then validate if they have developed a technological solution, they could validate its functionality in different environments, or then they could validate its sort of acceptance with customers or the customer perceptions.
So this is a wise concept. So I understand with the projects. How many projects are we talking in the ERANET? Is it 10 or 50 or?
Tens. I think you remember better the number than I do. It's tens of projects anyways throughout the years. It has been many.
So you link these projects of the ERANET Smart Energy Systems, but the other question is, how does this ERANET, or sometimes you call it joint programming platform, ERANET Smart Energy System, how does that link to the European level? Is there also a link to this EC Horizon bridge level then?
Yes, of course, for funding, we are very well linked with Horizon program, but also cooperate actively with DG Ener. And of course, then one cooperation line is this cooperation with a national stakeholder coordination group. And I understand we have our colleague Michele to represent this side of our work with us.
We don't need a moderator. This is a self-moderating panel. Thank you, Yata, for introducing Michele. Michele, you are there. You represent the NSCG, the National Stakeholder Coordination Group, one of these great networks that Rainer Bacher has tried to explain. What is the purpose of that institution?
Exactly. Thank you very much, Ludwig, and thank you, Yata, also for the brief introduction, at least to the NSCG, which means National Stakeholders Coordination Group. The NSCG was born as, we can say, a discussion forum for public authorities, member states, regulators, and so on, to discuss about needs, priorities, development, and policies. And little by little, of course, there was the same need as for the ETIP to involve the different stakeholders, to hear voices, to hear experiences. And therefore, it little by little became somehow a sounding board of the stakeholders on points to be taken into consideration for a rational integrated energy system planning. So we heard also Rainer said that the framework evolved with the ETIPs, with the implementation working groups, with the ERANETs we heard, with the Clean Energy Transition Partnership, which will probably be born in the early next year. So the idea of the National Stakeholders Coordination Group is to try to contribute ensuring consistency among all these different frameworks and to ensure efficiency. How to do that?
Can you give me an example? I mean, you are somehow also in charge of this club. So you are in charge of coordinating stakeholders. What stakeholders are we talking exactly? National stakeholders? Is that governments or is that administration or what is it?
Yes, it's essentially started with the idea of having member states working together. But at least we can say that the stakeholders that are of direct interest are the ones who have policy relevance. So this is why we want to address by means of thematic discussions on different subjects that have policy relevance. Among them, for example, some that have already been carried out are on regulatory sandboxes. So how to develop these regulatory sandboxes to innovate regulation, energy communities with also local PV use, local flexibility. And now we want to go deeper on regional matters, on storage and energy system planning, on consumer and citizen involvement, all subjects that have got policy relevance, and last but not least, also the energy data management. And I think that also energy management is something of great relevance. To go from national to subnational, regional and local level, always with policy relevance.
As you said, I mean, in one of our sessions, two of our sessions to come, we will discuss data management also. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever donated blood?
Yes, I did. And I must say that very recently, I think I did something more. I donated blood for science, research and development in a national research platform dedicated to understanding the mechanism and the body response to vaccination to COVID. So this is, you know, I think that
you're a good one.
What you mean by donating blood, I think, means donating the essence of the individual. And I think that if you want to connect this to donating data, I think the comparison is absolutely relevant, is absolutely sound. I think this is really a very central matter also that I think we will discuss during one of the parallel sessions.
When you donate blood, you do it for a purpose, and when you give your data, smart meter data, whatsoever, there's a purpose to that. But sometimes people are very reluctant to give away or donate or whatsoever their data, personal data, metering data, what. Would you believe that it makes a difference to whom you donate your blood or to donate your data?
Yes, there are many hidden threats. I think that, and if you did not do that in terms of the understanding the threats of donating data, you should look at The Social Dilemma on Netflix. I think this is quite inspiring in terms of looking at how profiling, manipulation, monitoring, controlling, influencing behavior can be carried out on social media. But on the other hand, if transparency and if a common and global purpose for global benefits is really expressed, then you can donate data for the global benefit of the energy system. We are speaking about that, for example.
As we are talking global, national, regional, would you believe that people would give data on a regional level if data doesn't leave the region or the city?
We are speaking of energy communities, I think. In that respect, I think that the way of managing and of using the data, and therefore of giving the data out, can be easier in terms of looking at the possibility of having a direct connection between the data you give and the global, or at least the local benefit you can get out of giving that data. Yes.
Okay, let's discuss that further. Maria Laura, is Paddy here now?
No, we contact him, we send the link, but I still don't see him.
Some were lost. Any question in the chat?
No from the others, but I can start, so maybe I break the ice. I have a question for Michele. So we said, okay, we can reach more regional and national projects, but apart having feedback from projects, how is like reaching member states, government? This is some difficulties that we are finding in ETIP SNET, but also the European Commission. So it's really a problem, seems to becoming a problem, and for which we lack a bit the link, let's say, with this national level. So what is your suggestion, your experience for reaching more this aspect? And on the second question is, we worked together at ETIP SNET and the IWG4 for the two implementation plans and alignment among implementation plans. Can you have some words also about this that show also the link and the connection from ETIP SNET, so stakeholders, community and member states?
Yes, thank you very much, Maria. In fact, linking with member states across the SET plan is one of the objectives of the so-called SET plan implementation working groups. And this is what is presently being carried out in the implementation working group called number 4 on the integrated energy system. There we have, by statute, I would say, the member states collaborating in the discussions about the best use of national funds for the resilient energy system. The idea here is to try to identify common priorities so that the member states, for example, in their the so-called the plans for the recovery, also consider similar or consider consistent priorities in their development. And of course, as we said, this cannot be done only by one single stakeholder. So, for example, member states need to consider as well all the industrial and regulated part of all these aspects. And this is why the first implementation plan that was developed, starting from the member state, was in the second step completely aligned in terms of all what is needed for the development of the more pan-European, I would say, and national energy systems to the ETIP SNET implementation plan. Now we have a first part of the implementation plan which is completely aligned in such a way that we can align, I would say, the European money, the national money, and as much as possible the local money for the common purpose.
Michele, let me come back, and I also call upon Jatta, and I would have hoped that Patty is here, because Patty really would have explained to us what working on a regional level means. When you talk to different people, and Jatta, that's also a question for you. When you talk to different people in Europe, what is a region? Depends on whom you ask. If you ask someone in Bavaria, where I'm now, they have even sub-regions like the Allgäu, Franconia, and so on. They wouldn't even admit that Bavaria is a region. But if you talk to people in Brussels, they believe Finland is a region. So what is how would you interpret region or regional?
Well, you are quite right that the interpretation is very different. In my view, Finland is a region. We are, from the area point of view, a large country, but from the number of people point of view, a small country. But of course, then for the government, for the governance point of view, the country is divided in regions, and we do have also regional operators. Well, it is difficult to say. I don't have a one single answer to that.
It would be interesting, I think, when you brought it up. You said that you have to look at the needs of the owners or the stakeholders. Could that be? This is a question of culture, or is it that a question of education? could that vary from region to region, even in Finland?
Inside Finland, the culture-related and education-related questions or needs, they are not varying at all inside the country, I would say. But then from the infrastructure point of view, and the situation might be different in different parts of the country. And also, if we talk about, for instance, the energy systems when they are connected to the industries, so that the production is situated in different ways in different parts of the country, and therefore the energy-related infrastructure is also different in different parts.
Okay.
So it can be that in certain questions, the more regional or local parties have a better understanding of, for instance, the local barriers that there are in doing changes and going through a transition. So I think we need these players in different levels, the ones that are really quite local, and then more like bigger regions like nations like Finland, and then maybe even then small or bigger countries.
But on the other hand side, I mean, if I would live in Brussels, I mean, I cannot connect to all these sub-regions of Bavaria and Finland. I mean, how do you organize that in Finland? So is that a task of CLIC, that you somehow connect your various cities, branches, stakeholder groups, or how do you organize that?
Yes, I think you need these kind of players like CLIC, who knows the whole nation in that sense that, yes, we do connect with even the city level players and even with the smaller cities, and basically know everybody from our country who is active in the energy sector and working as a cluster and whom to contact. Also, we are connected with the government, meaning the ministries and the public financing institutes, and I think with this kind of center points like CLIC could be a good link to these different levels of players in one country. Otherwise, it's really difficult. Yes.
What you need is this leveled approach. So from the top, and maybe then the NSCG, and then these organizations in the countries. I see the hand from Rainer. Rainer wants to explain to us why they invented the cantons in Switzerland, right?
Well, for that we would need longer time. But anyway, this almost philosophical question, but really very real question of these regions is fascinating me from a long time, because you know, from the EC point of view, as you said before, Finland it can be seen as a region. But from Switzerland, a small community, you know, itself could be a self-standing thing, which needs to be taken, you know, fundamentally serious, you know. But you are talking now about, again, the linking of organizations, of structures, and I just want to provoke here, you know, we can link to a wind park in Northern Europe without any problem if we have the grids in between, you know. So I just to show you what dilemma we have here, you know, we have the organizational challenge, which has to do with smaller and larger regions on the national and transnational level. But we have the ability to connect to local PV on the roof of a home, but also to a large wind power station in the Northern Sea, you know, via the high voltage grids. So this is, this is really for our audience here a key thing. You know, we want to organize the processes in a reasonable way, starting from today. Political, you know, subsidiarity is a key word here, you know. But on the other side, we have technical possibilities. And both need to come together. Now, where is the solution? This is what we try to contribute in ETIP SNET. This is integration of energy systems, of players, and so on. And so I have no solution, but this we must be really see the big picture here. It's really very challenging.
And if I understand you right, I mean, you are referring to this pan-European system, but you also say that this system is built of systems, of subsystems. It's a big system of systems, and maybe the small regional system is the smallest Lego block.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes to the home. It even goes to the home, or to the people, to the citizen. Actually, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, if I may, I think that the global picture is made of pixels, and of course, you must also take into consideration not only the global picture, but the pixels themselves and how to reach the pixels, because the pixels, like the energy communities, the local communities, I won't say the single PV panel, I mean, but at least the organization that goes and that leverages the single PV panel may have specific characteristics that may be taken into consideration, sure.
Thank you. I see a hand with Maria Laura. Do you want to invite me to go on, or is there a question?
No, it's a question this time. So, and then I leave the floor also to Elena, that I saw that she raised her hand as well. I wanted to ask if also if Michele or some of you knows the role of the next clean energy transition partnership that, if I don't make mistake, will start launching the first calls in 2022. So this is a clear link, let's say, at the member states level, and to which you can contribute only if you, via the IWGs of the set plan. So I wanted just if you have some few words about an update about this and the role and the integration that we could, correlation that we could have with this new partnership that the European Commission is launching.
It's not fully decided, but what can you say about that already, Michele?
Well, first of all, the portfolio, I would say, of the Clean Energy Transition Partnership is extremely large. So it goes well beyond networks, because it deals with technologies for the generation. It deals with carbon capture, storage and utilization. It deals with district heating, which is it deals with the energy efficiency in homes and networks, local and global networks. So this, I think, is I would say a potential partner that is going to be quite important also for the ETIP SNET, and not only for the ETIP SNET, but also for other ETIPs. The idea here is to somehow progressively overcome the scheme of the ERANETs progressively, because of course the ERANETs are still fortunately and very strongly ongoing, organizing from the, we can say, bottom up, from the regional and from the local point of view, but also from the national point of view, the calls and co-funded calls on interesting subjects for the development of the global, I would say, and of the local energy systems.
So for the audience, please watch out. Next year, you will learn more about this Clean Energy Transition Partnership. Watch out to CETP. And maybe we put it on agenda in our regional workshop in spring next year, Maria Laura. Now that we invited people, Elena, you raised your hand. Quick question, quick answer.
A quick question indeed. Mainly just to conclude, Rainer was talking about accessibility to all of these renewable assets we have across Europe, but as I come here, representative of digitalization and customer engagement working group of ETIP, I just wanted to bring back the conversation a little bit to the end customer, to this ultimate consumer, and how much the nature of European citizens has changed, especially since COVID. The general idea of the system that is being built right now and designed is to remove the complexity from the end consumers while getting all the benefits of digitalization and new projects run in Europe. But it is my impression right now, and I have I guess, a few seconds here to add that we keep thinking of energy communities as static in terms of people who live there. And people actually, the setup and the nature of these communities has changed. A lot of people work from home. These communities are quite different now than before COVID. So maybe a question to everyone in designing the nature of these networks. How much are we thinking about energy communities of the future, which are, let's say, more fluid than static?
Thank you, Elena. This was not a question that we can answer in 30 seconds, and there's only 10 seconds left, but we give it to the parallel sessions, and this is the point of time to switch to the parallel sessions. A big thank you to all the panelists that shared their insights and that were flexible enough to answer questions that we haven't even imagined. We got a bit more time, so we could dig into philosophical questions. Thank you for joining me, joining us. So I invite everybody to check their access card and meet over there in the parallel sessions.
Thank you very much, Ludwig. Thank you, everyone. See you in the conclusion session again all together. Thanks.
Ciao, see you soon.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.